Hey, these are the real salary numbers for performance marketers in 2026, not the inflated LinkedIn lies, not the fake guru numbers. Actual ranges based on roles I've hired for our agency, friends who run agencies, and contracts I've seen. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what you should be making and why most of you are leaving money on the table. Quick context, I run AG Marketer, my digital marketing agency. Over 13 years, I've hired media buyers, performance leads, and full marketing teams. I've also worked with over 76 companies, from e-commerce brands to Fortune 500 clients to coaches and consultants. So when I give you these numbers, they're not from a Reddit thread or a Glassdoor average. They're from actual contracts and offers I've been on both sides of. And one quick disclaimer, these numbers are US focused. If you're in Europe, the UK, or the Middle East, multiply by roughly 0.7 to 0.8. Let's break it down by tiers. Before I give you numbers, here's why every other source you've looked at is wrong. Glassdoor numbers are inflated because successful candidates self-report. Failed offers don't get reported. LinkedIn salary screenshots are flexes, not averages. Half the time, the number includes equity, performance bonuses, and a sign on that doesn't actually recur. Reddit is based towards whatever loudest in the comments. The numbers I'm about to give you are ranges based on real hiring conversations, not best case, not worst case, right? The actual middle 60% of offers I've seen for each tier. Tier 1, junior media buyers or paid ads specialists. Base salary range $45,000 to $75,000. This tier is your first 1 to 3 years. You're managing budgets in the tens to $100,000 per month range. You might be in-house at a small D2C brand, or you might be at an agency managing 2 to 5 accounts. What gets you to 75K instead of 45K at this level? 3 things. 1, specialization. If you can demonstrate you are actually scaled an account, even a small one, from say $10,000 to $50,000 a month, at stable ROAS, you're worth 60 plus, not 45. 2, tools. Anyone listing Kairos, Triple Nordbeam, or GA4 fluency on their resume immediately jumps tier because most juniors don't actually use these. They just know they exist. 3, vertical fit. If you've worked in supplements, you are worth more to a supplement brand than someone who's only done SaaS. Same for finance, healthcare, e-commerce, you name it. Tier 2, mid-level or senior media buyer. Base salary range 80,000 to 130,000 plus performance bonuses, typically 10 to 30% of base, tied to ROAS or CAC targets. You are now 3 to 6 years in, managing budgets 100,000 to 1 million per month range. You're either an in-house senior at a brand or a lead at an agency running 3 to 10. The drop at this tier is what I call the mid-level plateau. A lot of people stall here at 90K because they keep doing the same job at the same scale, just with more years. Here's how you break out. Either you take ownership of a channel end to end, including creative strategy, attribution, and reporting, or you start managing other people. Anyone who just keep clicking buttons in Ads Manager will plateau. Tier 3, head of paid or performance lead. Base salary range 130,000 to 200,000. Plus bonuses 20 to 50%. Equity if it's a startup, sometimes a profit share if the company is run by founders. You're now 6 to 10 years in the game. You're managing teams You're owning the entire paid channel strategy, not just executing. You're sitting in leadership meetings, reporting to a CMO, or directly to a founder. What hiring managers expect at this level? You can build and lead a team. You can build reporting dashboards from scratch. You can defend a marketing budget in a CFO meeting. And you can talk fluently about LTV, CAC, payback periods, and contribution margin, not just ROAS. If you can't speak the language of finance at this tier, you're capped at the bottom of the range. Tier 4, director, VP, or CMO. Base salary range $180,000 to $400,000 plus equity, bonus, sometimes a profit share, and almost always a sign-on bonus. Most people don't realize this is a completely different game. You're not really being hired for marketing execution at this level. You're being hired to be a strategic partner to the CEO. I'll give you a real example. I was a CMO at a company called Infinite Age. We took it to an 8-figure exit. At that level, my job wasn't running ads. My job was building the marketing engine, hiring the team, owning the unit economics, and making the business worth more in the exit. If you're applying for a director or VP role and you're still pitching yourself as a person who runs the campaigns, you are going to be rejected. They want a person who builds the team that runs the campaign. If your base is capped, negotiate variable compensation tied to ROAS targets or CAC goals. Example, if your base is 110K, they won't go higher. Negotiate a bonus structure. 10% of base if you hit the channel ROAS target. 20% if you exceed by 25%. Suddenly, your real compensation is 121 to 132,000. And the company is happy because they only pay if you deliver. This works best at performance-driven companies, agencies, direct-to-consumer brands, anywhere with clear KPIs and performance-oriented. Limit number 2, negotiate equity at startups. If you join a startup, pre-series B, ask for equity, not just cash. A senior media buyer with 2.25% equity at a startup that exists for 15 million walks away with 120K. That's life-changing money on top of base salary. Most people don't ask because they don't understand the math. Don't be most people. Even number 3, step sideways into a smaller company at a higher title. This is the hack nobody talks about, actually. If you are senior media buyer at 200-person company making 110K, you're stuck. You don't go up at that company. You go sideways to a 30-person company with the title head of paid at 140K. You skip the corporate promotion ladder by trading company size for a title. Then 18 months later, you go back to the bigger company at the new title and pull up 180 plus. I've seen people triple their salaries in 3 years using this exact path. When they ask, what are you looking for? Don't give them a number first. Here's the script. Based on the scope of this role and what I've delivered before I'm looking for at X or Y range, where does this fit in your budget? 2 things happen. 1, you set the range, not them. 2, you flip the question back, which means that they have to react instead of you. Example, they say, what are you looking for? And you say, based on the scope of this role and the budget I managed before, I'm looking for at 140 and 160,000. Where does that fit in your budget? See? If they say, honestly, we were thinking 120, you'll have a conversation about variable compensation, equity, or scope adjustment. If they say, that's right in line, congratulations, you just got the top of your range without giving up leverage. Comment your current role and salary range if you want me to do deeper breakdown on your specific tier. Subscribe because in the next video, I'm exposing the 5 red flags hiring managers see on marketing resumes. And trust me, you're probably guilty of at least 2. See you in the next one.